the excitement coming from the Chiefs and from the 49ers, and we got excitement for all of you across the nation here as we are joined by Emmitt Smith, NFL Hall of Famer, a guy who played in a few Super Bowls back in his day. Does it seem when you walk around that it's been as long as it has when you played in Super Bowls? Like, does it seem like the snap of your fingers, or does it feel like it's been 25 years to you?
You know, last night I flew in with Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
And Fitz told me he's going into his 15th or 16th year.
Yes.
And he was a rookie in my last year.
Yes.
So, yes, it does seem like it's been a milestone ago.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a long time since 92, 93, and 95. So, yes.
I got to start you off before we get to anything else with, I thought when your son made his announcement where he was going to go to college, I believe you and your wife were there.
Yeah.
And we played your immediate, like a minute or minute and a half about how it's his journey as opposed to your journey. I thought that was so fantastic. So I've got 3 boys. I got a 12-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 5-year-old. And I thought you just so succinctly and so well said that because you're a Florida Gator.
Yes.
And I think you said I'll always be a Florida Gator.
And
I think you met your wife at Florida.
No, I didn't meet her at Florida. I mean, she's a James Madison Duke.
Okay. But she's adopted Florida in a good way.
Like I adopted James Madison.
Yeah, right.
And she's adopted Florida, and so we adopt each other.
And I think he's going to, is it Stanford?
Yes, he's heading up to
Well,
Stanford.
I mean, first of all, that's got to be a proud moment for anybody to have a son that gets into Stanford.
It's a proud moment as a father and as parents to get our kids off to the next level, the next phase of their lives.
But what's so fascinating about it is I think a lot of parents feel like they should make decisions for their kids, and they're trying to make the good decisions for them.
Right.
But so I thought you did such a good job, like his own path and letting him make that his own path. So when he goes off to Stanford, what is that going to feel like for you?
It's going to probably be just like it was when we dropped Jasmine off at Duke and dropped Reagan off at Texas A&M. It's going to be an emotional moment.
Yeah.
I mean, because we're actually allowing or releasing our kids and giving them the opportunity to go into the world and see how they deal with things and how they handle things for the next 4 years of their lives.
Yeah.
College is you're there to get an education, obviously. You're there to find that who you are and learn more about who you are and who you will become after this phase. So, and forge relationships along the way. So, college is an opportunity for young people to grow.
Yeah.
And find themselves and determine what they want to be, who they want to be when they leave college. And so, but you know, it's going to be one of those moments because that's another child that's leaving the house.
Yeah.
And so they always welcome to come back. But it's going to be –
Does it feel weird for the house to start to get quiet? Because I haven't gotten there. I told you mine are 12, 9, and 5. My house is a zoo every day. I got 3 boys. And it's loud. They're wrestling. They're fighting. They're yelling at each other all the time. I can't even imagine what it's like. Just even sometimes they're gone for the weekend.
Right.
And the house is just so silent. I can't imagine what that's like as they start to leave.
Well, it goes back to some form of normalcy. And I think my wife and I and probably myself is working towards the part of refining ourselves.
Yeah.
Because, I mean,
you've been so frenzied with being parents and everything else.
Yeah, exactly. And everything else that's going on. Now we got to figure out, redefine who we are as people and different stages of our lives.
Yeah.
So it's different.
We're talking with Emmitt Smith. All right. First of all, again, props, and we'll play that for you, maybe that audio clip at the end of the show because we loved it when it happened on the early signing period. What are the Dallas Cowboys going to do? What do you think makes sense going forward? You know, we talked. I think you came on the show a while back before Zeke had his new deal, and now they have to make decisions about Amari Cooper and Dak. They got a brand new head coach coming in with Mike McCarthy. As you assess the overall landscape of the Dallas Cowboys right now, what do you think's coming? What would you do, and what do you anticipate?
Well, with every new situation, there's always adjustments that needs to be made. Positive adjustments, some adjustments that people may not like. But at the end of the day, the question becomes, are we trying to build this team to actually get to the playoffs? It's not that Mike McCarthy is coming in with a cupboard that's empty.
Right.
He has some talent there. The question becomes, how do you maintain the financial balance?
Yes.
And not only that, how do you maintain the right kind of chemistry and build the right kind of chemistry now with a new head coach, second-year offensive coordinator, and what are you doing to upgrade the team in order to give us our best chance to go back to not only the playoff, I'm going to say playoff first, because you can't get to a Super Bowl or NFC Championship game unless you make the playoffs. So you got a chance to do that. So we get back there, then let's see how this team actually looks. So I'm expecting a complete turnaround. And the reason why is because I know we have the talent.
Do you expect Dak Prescott to win a Super Bowl?
Yes.
With the Dallas Cowboys?
Yes, I do. If he doesn't win it with the Dallas Cowboys, I don't think he's going to win it with someone else.
Yeah. So you would invest, let's say he wants $35, $40 million. You've seen enough at this point to say this is our franchise guy. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback, I believe. We got to pay him. We got to keep him here.
Yeah, but do I want to pay him $35? Maybe not.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's all about balancing the business side.
Maybe not. Yeah, exactly. At some point, you have to figure out truly, I mean, the numbers kind of dictate themselves.
Yeah.
And if you really want to slot him in that number, in that category, does his stats fit that category? Has he proven to be this and that? When you start looking at some of the best quarterbacks in the league, for me, I got to go to Tom Brady as number one.
Yeah.
And then work my way backwards. Aaron Rodgers and so forth and on and on. Drew Brees and all that. So that's the way I would look at things and try to gauge it from that perspective. Then you go into the wins.
Yes. Then
you go into other things, other facets of your organization. Then you go from there.
What do you think happened with Ezekiel Elliott this year? What did you see watching him play?
I saw a guy still running the ball hard. I think what happened is our offensive line got a little banged up. I still think at some point in time throughout the course of the season we got a little bit more conservative, kind of reverted back to something. So I don't know where that came from.
Yeah.
And so we didn't lean on Zeke like we should have.
Yeah.
And, I think he stayed healthy throughout the most of the season, and we had Pollard too. So we didn't utilize our running backs in the way I thought we should have. But I thought Zeke had a pretty decent year. It wasn't his best, but I thought he had a decent year.
Do you buy into the idea that the running back position, when guys get paid big money, typically are not planning out now? You guys, when your era, the running back was every bit as important, it felt like, as the quarterback. But you got Zeke didn't have a good year after a big contract. It feels like Todd Gurley has gone downhill after a big contract. Le'Veon Bell sits out for a year. And now the Titans, for instance, have to make a decision with a guy like Derrick Henry. Melvin Gordon may well be out there. What do you think about the overall value of the running back position in the game right now? Is it undervalued?
I think it's very much undervalued.
Yeah.
I think the way you utilize the running back is a clear indication of how successful he will be. You don't give him the opportunities to be successful, then he won't.
Yeah.
If you making him do things that he's not accustomed to doing, then he won't be successful at that either. A coach's job is to put his players in a position to be successful. If you believe in your running game, like the Dallas Cowboys should believe in their running game, why aren't you running the rock more?
Yeah.
Why is Dak throwing the ball 40-something times a game? There's a pitch count for everybody. If I'm going to lean on my running game, and I got Tony Pollard backing up Ezekiel Elliott, Zeke going to touch the ball.
Yeah.
Whether it's run, a combination of run and pass, he's going to touch the ball 25 to 30 times a game. And Pollard going to get 5 to 8, maybe 10 touches somewhere along the line just to throw things off a little bit. And then everything else fall in the line from that point on, whether it's Amari Cooper, whether it's Gallup, whoever it is.
Yeah.
Even Dak running the rock. All of those things are still in play. And two things happen. You control the clock like the 49ers, and you force the defense or the opposing offense to try to make big plays.
Was it the right decision to move on from Jason Garrett in your mind?
I think it was. And I said this at the beginning of last year, and Jason knew it. This is a must-win year. And there was no doubt it was a must-win year because when you look at over the last 7, 8 years or so, it's been up and down, up and down, up and down. And it's kind of natural to say this year should be better. Well, you're looking for consistency. You're looking to build upon something. As a coach, as a player, the only way you stay in your position is to be consistent over long periods of time. And over 9 years, we didn't have that.
We're talking to Emmitt Smith, NFL Hall of Famer. Derrick Henry goes 3 straight games for 180-plus yards. I know you're a student of the running back position. What did you think of the run that he got on, and what do you think of him as a back? Who does he remind you of?
Brandon Jacobs, a big guy that's going to come downhill at you every time. I think the run that he got hot at the right time, and Tennessee gave him the rock at the right time. That's leaning on your strength.
Yes.
That is truly leaning on your strength. When you do that, then everything else can happen well for you, period, bottom line. And I think the Cowboys still trying to figure out who they really want to be.
Right, what their identity is.
Who they want to be. And you have the blueprint.
Yeah.
You have the blueprint. You go back to Tony Dorsett and Robert Newhouse and everyone else, they ran the rock. You go back to the 90s, we ran the rock.
Yeah.
And we won Super Bowls. They won Super Bowls. Roger Staubach and Drew Pearson and all those guys, Tony Hill and everybody else. So why are you still trying to figure this thing out?
There's probably a lot of Cowboy fans listening to us right now. We're talking with Emmitt Smith asking that exact question. Last question for you. Super Bowl 54 here. Who do you like, Chiefs or do you like the 49ers in this game?
They say defense wins championships, and I have to believe so. Our defense won us some championships. They shut down folks. They got turnovers. They made plays themselves. And when I look at this 49er defense, although I can get excited about the Kansas City Chiefs offense and passing game with Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill and Kelsey and all those guys, trust me, it's going to be hard to stop them. But that defense that the 49ers actually have is pretty impressive.
You're here for something that I love and that I was having a little bit of last night.
I thought that was it right there.
Yeah, I know. I'm starting here. It's not water. It's tequila. What tequila company are you with, and why should people be trying it?
I'm here with Herradura Tequila. Herradura is celebrating 150 years in the works, and they have distilled the finest tequilas in the country and the world, in my opinion. We're here with Ultra. The añejo is clear. Mm-hmm. It's like a silver blanco look.
Yes.
But it's an añejo, and it is the smoothest thing on the planet.
Good to mix with the Super Bowl?
Great to mix with the Super Bowl. Great to mix with the big game coming up this weekend. Great to mix with Bloody Marys. It's wonderful. My favorite is an old-fashioned tequila.
I love old-fashioned. Yeah.
Old-fashioned tequila, and there's nothing like it. So, but it's the greatest, in my opinion. It's the best tequila on the market.
Outstanding stuff. NFL Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champ multiple times, Emmitt Smith. This is OUTKICK on Fox Sports Radio. Clay Travis here. Hope all of you are enjoying Fox Sports Radio on YouTube. Encourage you to like and subscribe to all of our videos to make sure you don't miss any of the excellence. Thanks and enjoy.